All right, everyone. It is Tuesday, November 8th, 8:45 p.m. Election night in America. And we got Virginia Tech and Duke to preview here this evening. Virginia Tech and Duke are kicking off another thriller here on the regional sports networks on Saturday at noon. Down there in Durham, Hokie Nation, I know we usually do a good job of painting the state of North Carolina. I'm sure a lot of Tech fans will be down there at the game on Saturday. My name is Pat Finn. I'm recording here from Charlotte, North Carolina, and then we have a very special guest joining the show here. We'll do a quick intro after we roll in with our friends from the Main Street Pharmacy. The Main Street Pharmacy in Blacksburg, Virginia. It treats the people of the Virginia Tech community the way that they want to be treated. At the Main Street Pharmacy, you are a neighbor, not a number. Dr. Jeremy will greet you with a smile. You got prescriptions to fill? You know, you got to go. I went to a pharmacy today that I'm not going to name in Charlotte, and I needed some toothpaste. So I went on down there. If you need toothpaste, I know who has it. Jeremy at the Main Street Pharmacy. If you are looking for the new Sons of Saturday and Nitlo Center Street Athletics t-shirt, head on down to Main Street Pharmacy and go check it out. But tell them the Suns sent you. We're gonna have buttons for Beat UVA available there for the next few weeks as well. Hokie Haiku brought to you by the Main Street Pharmacy. This is submitted by Meg Gregg. Another collapse. It is difficult to watch. Let's go Tech. Beat Duke. I agree with you, Meg. All right, so we're going to introduce our guest here. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see he's got the Abbey Road poster in the background. Dialing in from the 757, high school student, college football expert, Hokie diehard fan, Mr. Sam Stromberg. Sam, what's going on, man? Welcome to the Suns. How's it going?
What's up? Thanks for having me, Pat. I appreciate it. Talking about Hokie football. Nothing better than that.
So, Sam, for the folks who may not know Sam Stromberg, who is Sam Stromberg?
Yeah, so I'm 17 years old. I live in Portsmouth, Virginia. I go to Norfolk Academy. I play basketball and baseball there, and I love watching Tech football. So, and Tech basketball. That team looks pretty good. So, just that type of stuff in school, working hard, plowing through that, and watching the Hokies on the weekends.
You remind me of a young Patrick Finn growing up in New Jersey. That was it, man. That was the personality trait. No, that guy just loves the Hokies. No, I'm just messing with you. But Sam is one of our writers at Sons of Saturday. And call to the bullpen. I know Billy and Grayson both were busy this evening. I was like, well, who should we bring on today? Sam Stromberg. I was like, dude, I saw him in Raleigh a few weeks ago. I know he's gonna be fired up to come on. Saw him tailgating at German Club a few weeks ago. This guy's plugged in. But Sam, just give us a quick little overview of how you got involved with Sons of Saturday.
Yeah. So this past summer, I was listening to one of your episodes actually, and Pat was like, "If you're interested in writing for us, let us know." So I was like, I hopped on that opportunity. I reached out to Pat, and we made it happen. And now I write a weekly series called Freshman Files about the freshmen. So, just reached out to Pat, really.
A star was born. So, no, it was great because the email was pretty funny that Sam sent to me, too. And then I called him up. Yeah, I want to talk to this guy. So that's awesome. So, Sam, we are excited to have you on. I'm sure this will be the first of potentially many podcasts that we bring on Double S here to break down Virginia Tech athletics. So we're going to start things off. First things first with the Hokie history, Virginia Tech and the Duke Blue Devils. Obviously, this is a conference foe, a coastal foe. We've been playing Duke every year since joining the ACC in 2004. And I mean, one of the more fun games over the past, 5 to 10 years in basketball as well. This is not a basketball show tonight, but they did indeed look good last night. But with the help of the Virginia Tech Athletics series snapshot that they're putting out there on Hokie Sports every week, we've compiled a few moments from Hokie history to chat about from the Duke game. Now, before I jump into it, Sam, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Off the top of your head, do you have any like moments or memories, or when you think Virginia Tech versus Duke football, any specific games or moments pop up in your head before anything else?
Yeah, well, I've actually been to a ton of Duke Tech football games because Durham is closer than Blacksburg to me. But a few stand out actually in Blacksburg. Last year's, of course, that was a big win over Duke, Fuente's last game. In 2014, I went to Durham. Me and my dad went, and we beat them. They were ranked. We went on a bus trip. That was a fun one. And I also went to the 2017 game in the rain, which was a 24-3 victory, and a bunch of puddles on the field with I think Trayvon Hill was sliding through there, something like that. But those are three that stand out. Went to all three of those.
I'm with you right there, Sam. This is the 30th matchup of the Tech Duke series. This series dates back all the way to 1937, and Tech leads the series 19-10. Now, as Sam said, we crushed Duke last year in Coach Fuente's final game, 48-17. You know that Keyshawn King showed out, Raheem Blackshear showed out. Also, the defense was all over the field that day. That was a ton of fun watching that game. I watched that one with Billy Ray and Grayson in San Diego at Bub's at the Beach, the Hokie bar down there in San Diego. I have memorable memories written down here that weren't necessarily favorable memories, but the 2019 game, everyone remembers the 2019 Duke game.
I was at that one too. That was not a fun one.
That was not a fun one. Whiteout Friday night, Michael Vick in town. I guess that was the night they honored like the 1999 team, and we're just gonna move past that one.
Yeah.
2018, Ryan Willis outduels a ranked Daniel Jones-led Duke team in Durham. Phil Patterson had a sweet touchdown catch that night. I believe that was the big time Dalton Keene, screen pass, and was just like an absolute ox running down the field, breaking tackles and scoring a touchdown. That was a picture that Keene is in the end zone with the hands in the air.
Yeah.
And you see, literally thousands of Virginia Tech fans behind Dalton Keene who had made the trip to Durham. So that was always a good one. 2017, I also have written down on here the rain game, slip and slide. Players were literally just running on the field and pretending it was a slip and slide at the end of the game. 2014, same thing, Sam. Comeback over a ranked Duke team. Michael Brewer showed out in the fourth quarter. Bucky had a nice touchdown. 2008, Macho Harris and Stephon Virgil combined for 4 interceptions on an absolutely freezing night in Lane Stadium. We wore the all maroon uniforms that night. We looked fantastic from a apparel standpoint. Macho had a pick 6, so that was big time. Great defense that night. And then 2004, going all the way back to 2004, was our first. The Virginia Tech Hokies, when they joined the conference in 2004, that was our first ACC win against the Duke Blue Devils in Wallace Wade. So, or actually, that was in Lane Stadium. So, Sam, going to give you a little bit of a high-level Duke football, and then we can jump into the offense, defense, special teams, and what to watch for. Duke football has 2 unclaimed national titles in 1936 and 1941. Obviously, David Cutcliffe was the most recent coach from 2008 until 2021, until Mike Elko took over the past year. Duke has a Coastal Division championship from 2013. They play in Wallace Wade Stadium, which has a capacity of just over 40,000 people. And as I was doing my research, to quote Bill Simmons, the half-assed internet research, was digging through the Wikipedia and had always known that Wallace Wade Stadium had hosted a Rose Bowl. 1942,
Oh,
Wallace Wade hosted the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day. And Duke actually had been invited to the Rose Bowl. Duke was pretty. They had a good program back in the 40s. Now this was right after Pearl Harbor, which was right after the end of the season, and they were fearing that Japan would attack the West Coast. So they said we need to move this bowl game away from Southern California. So they didn't want to take a chance at the Japanese choosing to have a big time stage of, bombing a stadium with over 90,000 people there. So the government banned all these large gatherings on the West Coast. So that, ruled out Corvallis, that ruled out, any other venues up and down the coast of California. And then they decided to play it at Wallace Wade Stadium, which was pretty funny. So
yeah. Didn't know about that. That's pretty crazy.
I was gonna say, I don't know. Are you in any sports history classes at Norfolk Academy? They offer that.
No,
That
I'm in U.S. history right now. Not much Duke football Rose Bowl being talked about, but
all right, so Sam, I'm gonna ask you as we talk about the Duke team this year. I want you to describe Duke football in one word. What would your one word be for this 2022 Duke team?
run. They run the ball a lot, especially with their quarterback, who actually leads the team in rushing. So, yeah, run. Simple as that.
Duke runs, run, Forest, run. The New York City Marathon was yesterday, so maybe some Duke football athletes were up there completing that 26.2. I will say Duke football in one word for 2022: overachieved. They really have overachieved. I remember watching media days, and people were kind of clowning Duke because they had 65+% of their roster returning and their production returning, and they're hitting the portal and getting all these guys from the Ivy League. And all of a sudden, Duke's 3-0. Mike Elko's, having a good time down there and building some serious culture. And that's really what we've seen out of the Duke Blue Devils so far. You got a guy who utilized the transfer portal. You got a guy who's built some fantastic culture and has been able to put together a pretty good team. Duke beat Temple, Northwestern, North Carolina A&T, UVA, Miami, and Boston College, and then was defeated by Carolina in the fourth quarter, Georgia Tech in overtime, and Kansas. So just taking those three losses, Duke lost to Carolina, Georgia Tech, and Kansas by a combined 14 points. So in theory, Sam Stromberg, the Duke Blue Devils are 14 points away from being 9-0 in Mike Elko's first season. So interesting things going on down there in Durham. You might see Duke football selling out. There could be a competition in Durham. Which team is more popular, the basketball team with a new head coach or the football team with a new head coach? All jokes aside, Duke's going to finish up with Tech at home, Pittsburgh on the road, and Wake Forest at home on Senior Day. So you said run, Sam. Tell me a little bit about this Duke football and their offense.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, quarterback Riley Leonard leads the team in rushing. 577 yards on the ground. I mean, still with 3 games to play. So that's pretty impressive. He has 11 passing touchdowns on 1,850 passing yards. He's good in open space running the ball, especially. He's not the fastest guy, but I was watching them versus Boston College last week, and he makes guys miss. It really reminded me of Garrett Schrader, what he did to us with Syracuse last year. Not the fastest guy, but he can make guys miss. And Riley Leonard definitely did that last week versus Boston College. He had like a 60-yard touchdown run on one of the first drives. Behind Leonard, at the running back spots, they have a good 1-2 punch with Jordan Waters and Jacquez Moore. Moore averages almost 7 yards a carry. So get ready for that. And Jordan Waters, he's their number one running back, having a solid year. And then on the offensive line, they have a lot of veteran guys. They have a graduate guy. He might have been a transfer. And just overall a good rush attack with that offensive line that's full of older guys. Brent Pry mentioned today that's probably going to be the best rushing attack we've seen this year. I don't know about that. Pitt with Israel Abanikanda had a pretty good day. But in the pass game, Leonard's favorite target is Jalen Calhoun. He has about 500 yards on the year. Leonard will get it to Samir Hagan some, Jordan Moore some. They did lose their second leading receiver, Eli Pankel, to a season-ending injury, so you won't see him. But they are run first, but they will pass the ball if they need to. They sort of rely on each other to find success. They get their tight end involved some. And yeah, so passing the ball, not as prevalent as their run offense, but still something that Hokie fans need to watch out for, especially with Jalen Calhoun. He is a playmaker. And yeah, so we can move on to defense now, I guess. They rank 84th in total defense, giving up about 400 yards a game. But the Hokies will probably make them look pretty good this week because that's what Virginia Tech tends to do. You'll hear defensive back Darius Joyner's name called a lot. He's the leading tackler on the Blue Devils. Fellow defensive back Jalen Stinson at 5'8" will make some tackles in the alley. He also has 2 interceptions on the year. And the third DB who's really made a name for himself, Brandon Johnson. He has 3.5 sacks on the year, in addition to 2 interceptions. So he's just an overall playmaker.
All right.
And then, and then on the line, listen to this. On the line, they have a beast, Dwayne Carter, 6'3", 300 pounds, leads the team with 4.5 sacks. He had 2 last week versus Boston College. So Caden Moore and Jesse Hansen, good luck with him. Yeah.
So I'll jump in. So from a scoring perspective, the Blue Devils are averaging 34.8 points a game. That's good for 29th in the country. So they got a top 30 offense in year one of a rebuild under Mike Elko. And then they are giving up 208. They've given up 208 points, which is good for 23.1 a game, which is 45th. So the Duke Blue Devils in year one have a top 30 offense and a top 50 defense, thus far. Granted, if you look at the Duke football schedule, I know people have been saying Duke's a good football team all year, and I do think they are a good football team. Duke's football schedule might be easier than Virginia Tech's football schedule. I mean, you run down the line, and how good is Kansas really? Like, I know they started hot. North Carolina A&T obviously is comparable to Wofford, but other than that, Duke does not necessarily have a formidable schedule at all. So
yeah, I mean, they did. Although, yeah, who knows how good Kansas is? I mean, they're bowl eligible now, but they played UNC tough, who beat us by 31. So I don't know. I mean, Mike Elko's definitely doing more with less. It'll be interesting to see how they finish the year.
Absolutely. Now, Sam, walk me through special teams. I know special teams have been a hot button item here with Virginia Tech this year. We've seen the highs, we've seen the lows, but talk to us about what we got down in Durham.
Yeah, Charlie Ham, their kicker. He's perfect on extra points. Been a little inconsistent in the kicking game. He's 60% on the year, and he is 0 for 2 from 50 plus. And the aforementioned Jalen Calhoun, their punt returner, he's a playmaker. So look out for him. And yeah, I mean, Virginia Tech's been pretty good in punt return coverage, but he's a playmaker. He had a nice return versus UVA a couple weeks back.
So are we putting him on Jamison Crowder level of Duke punt returning excellence?
No, he's not there yet, but I don't know. Maybe against the Hokies, he'll get there.
Let's hope not. I will say, at this point in the season, we're 9 games in. Coverage units for punting and kicking. We haven't given up a punt return. We have not given up a kick return. So I'm just going to go ahead and knock on wood here. Saying that with 3 games to go. All right, so heading into Saturday, we got some key matchups. I remember ESPN every single week on Sports Center, they would have a segment called "What to Watch For," and they'd go over the upcoming games, the upcoming matchups. What should we be watching for here on Saturday? What are some of the keys to the game for Virginia Tech, so we can keep ourselves in this game? We are 9.5-point dogs in Durham. That hurts to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's limiting Riley Leonard on the ground. Once he gets loose, everything opens up for them. And the main matchup there is the Virginia Tech linebackers. So Dax, Hollifield, Kelly Lawson, Jaden Keller, Alan Tisdale, Keyshawn Artis, Keontae Jenkins, J.R. Walker. How will those guys do in the open field tackling against Riley Leonard? Because you cannot let that guy get loose. So I think that's the biggest matchup: the Virginia Tech linebackers versus Riley Leonard in the open field.
Can't wait to see some of our young guys get some more opportunities to make some plays as well here on Saturday. And I know that, you got to pull the bright spots out of every season, and that definitely has been some lingering bright spots as well. Offensively, man, if we don't get Daquan Wright involved, I know I'm going to be upset. I think he got 1 target last week, and, in my opinion, the most talented guy, most talented pass catcher, on this football team.
Him. I think he and Caleb Smith both need a combined 15 targets a game. Like, those are our 2 best offensive weapons through the air, and frankly, we haven't gotten them involved enough. So I'd like to see those 2 get involved more.
Yeah, Caleb Smith, of course, as well. Now, let's jump into some lines for this weekend with our friends over at DraftKings and with our friend Grant Watson, who's always on the ball submitting his over-unders on a weekly basis. NBA fans, the NBA action is just getting started, and so are the incredible offers at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can make any $5 NBA pregame moneyline bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to a 100% boost with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, total rebounds, total points scored, and more. Sam, I know you're a guy out in Portsmouth. The closest NBA team is up in DC. Are you an NBA guy? Are you locked in? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm an NBA fan. I don't have a team, but I TNT on a Tuesday and Thursday night, ESPN on Wednesday, Friday, I think, and Monday. Yeah, I'm tuned into the NBA.
There you go. All right, love it. We'll have to get you, when you are of age, we can get you on some of those same game parlays. All right.
Oh, yeah.
With payouts bigger than ever, DraftKings Sportsbook is where I go to bet on the NBA. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code SOS and make any $5 bet this week. Get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code SOS. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, we're going to segue that into Grant Watson. We got Tech plus 9.5. We'll start with that. Let's just start with that. Virginia Tech is a 9.5-point dog. Sam, tough. We didn't cover last week. We did cover against NC State. Is Virginia Tech covering the 9.5 points on Saturday?
I think the Hokies will cover, just considering we've had 2 1-point losses in a row. I think it's another, 1-score game. So, yeah, I think the Hokies cover.
All right. Keyshawn King rushing yards, 75, over or under?
That's a tough one, but I'm going to go with under. I think the Hokies will air it out, or will try to air it out at least to maybe Daquan Wright or Caleb Smith, those guys. So, yeah, I'm going to go under. Also with Chance Black and Bryce Duke. But Keyshawn King will definitely receive a majority of the carries. Who knows? He could break one, and he might totally prove me wrong. I hope he does.
Hokies passing yards, 235. You said we're going to air it out. Can we eclipse 235?
I think we do. I think Caleb Smith probably gets a long reception. I think we air it out. Hopefully we don't air out too many interceptions. But I think we break 235. Yeah, I think we break it.
Daquan Wright and Connor Blumrick.
Oh, yeah.
We got Blumrick in the game last week.
Where has he been though? We saw him for the first few weeks, and then yeah.
I was gonna say, he made a nice catch that set up a touchdown, and then he's been doing it on punt return, blocking for Tucker Holloway. So it's like, all right, we've been saying we need to get Blumrick in the game. Maybe that's how we need to get him involved. But good to see him back contributing. Him, Daquan Wright, Caleb Smith. I mean, I feel good about the passing game when those guys are getting targeted. All right, here's one. Hokies turnovers forced 1.5 over or under.
I'm going with under just because the Hokies are last in FBS in forced turnovers. So I think that trend continues, and I think they're going to be on the ground a lot. So not many interceptions or anything.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I also would say the under. I'm gotta see some turnovers forced before we're gonna jump in on saying that there's going to be multiple. All right. So Sam, we talked about the game. Obviously, we're 2-7. Trying to pick up win number 3 here, and have a tough road show ahead here at Duke, at Liberty, before finishing up with UVA at home. But we're gonna have some fun. All right, we got to get away from the doom and gloom. Life is good. You got Mike Young here. Lighten it up every night here on the ACC Network Extra or whatever the heck the stream was last night. But we're gonna jump into some rapid fire for Sam Stromberg about high school life. What's it like being a high schooler in the state of Virginia in 2022 down in the 757? So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Sam, tell me about the best cafeteria meal. What's going on at Norfolk Academy?
Yeah, so we have Chef Mike, who makes some of the best soups you'll ever taste. He makes some good shrimp gumbo. So that's definitely up there. And then the grilled cheese with tomato soup also has to be up there. Those are the two favorites.
Now, do you guys are there any snacks for breakfast, or you got basketball practice, you want to go up to the cafeteria, get a something to go before you get on the bus? Is that an option? Do you guys have those snacks?
I don't think so. There are vending machines, and we have a bookstore. We do have a bookstore where you can buy snacks, which is really nice. But they usually restrict the cafeteria to the teachers throughout the day, and the seniors. They can get coffee and stuff. But no, I haven't. I mean, I probably could. I could probably grab a banana or something, but I've never done it. I'm not sure about that. I have to check on that.
Yeah, cramping up at basketball tryouts, basketball practice.
Oh yeah, need the
grab a banana. A must. Favorite class, Sons of Scholars. What when you are waking up in the morning, what class are you fired up for?
I'd probably have to go with physics, just because I think it's sort of cool to learn about how all this stuff moves around us, and gravity, and initial velocity, final velocity, that type of stuff. So yeah, physics.
Dude, very, very impressive. I was not good at physics. V naught, V and V naught, and negative 9.8 meters per second squared. And who could forget an object in motion will stay in motion? Are you an SAT or ACT kind of guy?
Got to go with ACT, just because the SAT, the reading comprehension on the SAT, it does me dirty every time. I'm always scrambling at the end, filling in C for every answer. So the time, if I had unlimited time, maybe the SAT, but the reading comprehension gets me, man.
I saw something on Instagram today where it was Scantron forms or whatever for the SAT. It was in a truck or a trailer, and the trailer crashed, or there was an accident, and all the Scantron forms flew out the back on the highway, and all those kids have to take the SAT again. So
hopefully that does not happen to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm glad that wasn't you, Sam. Senior year, you're a senior, right?
I'm a junior. I'm a senior next year.
You're a junior. All right, you got plenty of opportunities for having fun. Then, where's the prom this year? What's going on with the prom?
Yeah, I mean, we usually have a little like thing at our school, but before that, we'd like take pictures at someone's house. Usually, someone who lives on like the water, in some of those big wealthy neighborhoods in like Bay Colony and stuff like that. But yeah, we'll usually take pictures beforehand and then go to school and they have something in the cafeteria. So not the most exciting thing, I know, but it is what it is.
Who's throwing down? Who's throwing the best
You're
parties?
throwing down. I got it. Well, definitely my boy Aaron Alifer. He throws some crazy parties. He has the chocolate fountain going. He has all the stuff going on. So yeah, my boy Aaron Alifer.
The chocolate fountain. Wow,
The chocolate fountain.
you gotta keep Augustus Gloop away from Big Aaron's house, man.
Oh yeah.
And then all right, so you're a junior now, so you still got time, obviously. But college applications are going to be something you're filling out next year. What are the Mount Rushmore? What are the top four? What if you're a recruit of the class of 2024? Yeah, 24.
Mm-hmm.
Who's making the graphic for your top four right now?
I don't know who's making it, but I know they're gonna have VT, 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 and VT on it. No, seriously, I'm obviously Virginia Tech. I'm gonna apply to. I'm gonna apply to UVA also, just so if I get into both, I can say I turned down UVA for Tech. I'll apply to JMU probably. My sister goes there, but those are the only three right now I'm thinking of. I'm not gonna go to UVA, so don't worry. I'm just applying just for fun. But yeah, Tech. Hopefully, in a couple years, I'll be at Tech.
There you go. I know we definitely want to see you donning the orange and maroon. Putting that pen to paper here, Sam. Well, this has been awesome. We got no letters from the lunch pail, which is okay. We'll table that for our next pod, but we do have some time for Sharky shoutouts. So, Sam, I want to thank you for coming on, and thank you for all the hard work that you've done this fall with the Freshman File series. And two, give you an opportunity to do some Sharky shout outs. Anything you got going on, anyone you want to plug, this is your opportunity.
Yeah, I got to shout out my dad for making me into the Tech fan I am, and very thankful for all the Tech games he's brought me to. Last year we went to West Virginia on Friday night. It was about a 6.5 hour drive. That was a tough one, tough drive and tough game. But thankful for him and all the road trips he's taken me on and tickets and all that type of stuff. So appreciate him for that.
I got to tell you, Sam, that hits home. That really does. And I'm sure a lot of people listening, that hits home as well. Growing up in New Jersey, it was like we would go to maybe one game a year. I played soccer growing up in the fall. My brother played soccer, and my dad actually coached both of our teams. So there was minimal chance, really every year for us to be able to get down in games. And it would be a super special opportunity if we could sneak down and get to Blacksburg. So it's awesome that you have that bond with your dad. So good stuff, my friend. Well, we will see you. What upcoming games are you going to be at?
So I got basketball going on, so I'm not free a bunch of the weekends and stuff. But I'll be at the UVA game probably, and maybe the Duke game this weekend. We'll see. Not positive yet, but I'll be at the UVA game for sure.
There you go. Ball is life, Sam. We need you. I know that team over there at the beach needs your jumper.
Yeah, we just sent Mark Williams to the league. He went to Norfolk Academy. David McCormick from Kansas also went to Norfolk Academy. Those two are professional basketball players now. So
that's big time. Awesome, Sam. We'll take care, and we'll see you in Blacksburg for UVA.
Appreciate it, Pat. Thank you for having me.